Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Disgruntled Thursday here on the David C. Hutto Radio Show. Welcome back to the program. Just another day at the office, right? So anyway, welcome back to the program. We got a lot of stuff we're going to cover tonight and this, that, and the other thing. So we'll just get right into it. And those of you who are watching and might have been offended by some of our scathing back comments to you. Hey, man, it's all in good fun. You gave us some crap, so we're giving you crap back. It's only fair. It's called, freedom of speech or whatever you want to call it. But, it's like, that's fine. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. We're entitled to ours. We just can't be mad at each other forever, right? Well, maybe we can. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of interesting things happening today in the world. One of which I kind of found interesting, this particular case involving a young 13-year-old girl writing an essay about one of our black founders, about Frederick Douglass. She wrote an essay that seemed to really piss off the teachers' unions out there in the, I don't know, I think it was Rochester, New York, and Rochester is like the home of the communist vermin, teachers unions, etc., and they get offended over every little thing. Rochester is a weird place. I've been there a couple times, but nothing noteworthy to write home about, especially Rochester. I mean, it's like Steel Town, USA, kind of. It's on the lake, snows a lot, kind of crazy over there. A lot of nut jobs in there, It's like Rochester and Buffalo. Man, those two cities, I swear, there's more unions per capita in those cities than anywhere else that I've seen. But, it's just kind of crazy. So, So I heard about this story, I think it was last week, and I didn't really cover it because, I didn't think it was totally noteworthy, but I think it's worth covering now because apparently no one else in the mainstream media is covering it except for the Schmuckensy Deutsches in the media complex that sit there and think she's wrong or she's using reverse racism or she doesn't know what she's talking about or she's anti-union or whatever their argument is. It's pretty fickle to me, in my opinion. I mean, come on, folks. If a 13-year-old kid can figure out that the country's screwed up by these vermin, then what's wrong with the rest of us that are in our 20s and 30s and 40s that are of voting age? I mean, why are we continuing to allow this kind of stuff to keep going on? That's the only question I have. I mean, there's just so much stuff going on in this, and it's absolutely insane, what's going on in the world right now. I mean, okay, so we're going to go into the news here after that. And then we're going to talk about some of the things that are happening globally, right? So a lot of this stuff is kind of crazy here. So let's get into this thing here. We got a lot of stuff going on and a lot of things in the world that are kind of disturbing. And we need to really start addressing some of this stuff. So, I'm going to focus on the news now. Okay, and try to get through it the best that I can here. We're probably going to have a couple of guest callers come in, are on the phone today. But it just depends. It depends on what transpires. So, anyway, let's get to the news. Sheriff and guest investigator, journalists intimidated not to report Sheriff Arpaio's findings about Obama's identity records. Okay, see, this is what this guy is really good at doing right now. What he's trying to do is shut us all up. And he'll do it any way he can. See, this Breitbart thing that we were talking about last week? I am very suspicious that this guy was offed. I think he was off by the vermin on the left that are under direct orders from you know who, Barry Soetoro, whatever you want to call him. So, lead investigator and Sheriff Arpaio's review of the authenticity of Oblamer's birth certificate today unloaded a bombshell about the case. That he was told by sources and members of the media were threatened with federal investigations should they continue to report on the birth certificate issue. Okay, that should worry you people. I mean, yet you schmucks, you idiots, you chinless wonders decided to vote this guy into power, and you're going, oh well, it's okay, it's fine, you know. He's not really that bad. He's better than Bush. Better than Bush. What, are you kidding me? I mean, we're looking at the Fourth Reich coming up here. I mean, it's no different. This guy. I mean, there's a picture right here, and I swear, with all the mindless idiots in Germany in the 1936. Look at all the mindless idiots in this country. And most of these people vote. Like I said last night when Jay and I had this show, I think if you're on welfare, your right to vote should be canceled. At least until you get a paycheck stub. And okay. So let's get into the rest of the news here before I get more into opinion. Because it's going to be one of those days, you know. It's going to be it's Disgruntled Thursday, folks. So this news is probably going to make me fairly disgruntled. Andrew Breitbart's last article, Obama's love song to communist Saul Alinsky. See, and you wonder why the guy got offed, right? This guy has been exposing these vermin for so long that unfortunately he just caught up with him. And God rest his soul. God bless him. God bless his family. You know, we're all on the same team here when we're exposing the vermin for who they are. Okay, prior to his passing, Andrew Breitbart said that the mission of the Breitbart empire was to exemplify the free and fearless press that our Constitution protects, but which increasingly the mainstream media denies us. Okay, who guards the guardians? Andrew saw himself in that role as a guardian protecting Americans from the left's objective, loyal scribes. Andrew wanted to do what the mainstream media would not. First and foremost, Andrew pledged to vet Barack and expose him. As a matter of fact, this is an interesting story, and I don't know if it's going to be true or not. The wallbanger, Mr. Hannity, is going to be showing one of his videos of Obama hanging out with Bernardine Dorn and Bill Ayers back in the day, doing a radical leftist speech on Fox News tonight. I wonder if that's going to go through or not. You know, I wish somebody'd have the balls just to put these things on YouTube or, you know, play them in every movie theater in the country and expose this empire for what they are. That's what I'd like to see happen. So, and yeah, I mean, that's what it boils down to, really. It's one of those crazy things. You know, wow, huh? It's an amazing thing going on right now with the possibility that, actually, it's not a possibility. The left is trying to shut everybody up and intimidate us, and it's going to fail miserably. They just don't realize it yet. Because people who speak with conviction and have the Holy Spirit guiding them, and people who have a strong moral character don't give a crap about the left's agenda. They want to expose it and prove that it is a total sham. Okay, and that's what we are going to do. We're going to do that continuously until people wake up and say, you know what, enough's enough. Enough's enough. Got to draw a line in the sand somewhere here, folks. You got to just say, you know, enough of the fook and all, enough of the stupidity, enough of drinking the Kool-Aid. It's time to find out for myself what's really going on in the world and get the blinders off. Because if you don't get, you know, the thing that's going to kill this country is not the fact that we're surrounded by a bunch of mindless idiots. It's the fact that we're indifferent. It's the fact that we can't think for ourselves critically and actually make a concise, firm, you're on this side of the line or the other opinion, okay? Indifference is what's going to kill us, folks, and that's all. That's all it's going to boil down to. Okay, here is another news story. NASA to launch 5 rockets that will simultaneously spray trimethyl aluminum into the atmosphere. What the hell is going on? I really don't understand what is going on with this thing. This is just crazy to me. We're going to spray some aluminum into the atmosphere. What cloud seeding or something? I mean, I really don't understand this. I guess this is where all the YouTube guys talk about the the contrails up in the air. This is probably related to that kind of phenomenon. And kind of interesting story. And I'll cover it here but first we gotta break off and take a short break here. Because you know how it is. You know, it's one of those deals, but I could get into it here. Okay. High in the sky, 60 to 65 miles above the Earth's surface, winds rush through a little understood region of the Earth's atmosphere at speeds of 200 and 300 miles per hour, lower than the typical satellite's orbit, higher than where most planes fly. This upper atmosphere jet stream makes a perfect target for a particular kind of scientific experiment. Surrounding the rocket are some 35 to 40 feet long. Surrounding rockets shoot up into the sky, short journeys, 8 to 10 minutes, allowing scientists to probe the most difficult to reach layers of the atmosphere. Okay, so what they're going to do is I guess they're just going to test these layers and see what they do. I don't know. It's kind of one of those weird things, isn't it? Just a little bit. Just a little strange. Okay, and then right here there's an article on health hazards of this trimethyl aluminum. I know if there's anything with methyl in it, okay, methyl ketone, methyl chloride, methyl this, methyl that. Anything with methyl in it is pretty bad. Fears of disruption as big solar storm strikes Earth. Okay, well, they were talking about this today on the news, too. And according to NASA, and according to what was going on in the atmosphere, we'll get into this actually here after the break, because it's gonna require a little bit of coverage for me to go into this story, because I've been warning about this for a while now. Honestly, I've been warning about it for some time, about solar flares. And what's happening is it's kind of unique, but it's not really that different. But I digress. So we're just going to jump right now into a break. We'll be right back after these short, brief messages, little musical interludes. So here we go.